What's up, guys? It's your girl Book with Bonnie, and I am back with another effing video. Let's jump right into this video. So to start off, I just want to say thank you to every single person who wished me happy birthday. My birthday was April 2nd. I took a break from dropping videos last week for it. So thank you a billion times. Thank you for the love. It's nice to know that I matter to people, so that's great. Special thanks to my fiance Thomas. My sisters and my brothers did such a great job just making me feel great. I didn't really have expectations for my birthday. I just kind of let it go with the flow. And my sister Ebony, Erica, Danny slash niece, Doug and Dee just like completely blew my mind. I had such a great time. So a billion times thank you, and specifically thank them for making my day great. That being said, I did get just a few books. My family is trying really hard to not support my book buying addiction, so they didn't give me a lot of books this time. That being said, they did give me 2 books. So the 2 books that they did get me is Never After, and this is by Melissa Dila, and I can't say her last name because there is a sticker on the cover, but here's what this book looks like. I found out that this is actually a series. My sisters never know what to buy me when it comes to books. They just know I like YA and stuff like that and fairy tales, so they end up buying me whatever they find and they think I'll be interested in. Whew. That being said, this is what it looks like, and please ignore the sticker. I will be blow drying that off later. Can y'all just stop with the stickers on the book cover? Like, y'all got all this. Why would you destroy it? Ugh. Come on, stores, do better. So this is the first book she got. And then another book that I received was White Fragility. Why is it so hard for white people to talk about racism? Yeah, so I personally find myself ranting a lot when it comes to race and discussing it. And being in an interracial relationship, I find myself having a lot of conversations around it, mostly to educate him and his family. But they're not ignorant. I mean, it's always an interesting conversation, but I have noticed that ever since we started dating, he's more quote unquote woke, and some people he have known most of his life, he finds himself like arguing, debating on social media with them. A lot of it has been happening due to the Floyd situation, and then we have, of course, COVID pandemic. So he's just been like swimming in just like his wokeness and educating and calling people out, and it's great. I personally don't feel the need to do it anymore. It's a choice. Let's be very clear. It's very much a choice. You could have those conversations if you want to or not. I mean, as a Black person, it is not your responsibility to educate, but if you choose to, that is your choice. That's how I'll say it. That being said, I really want to read this book. It's not long at all, and I personally haven't heard of the book. And it's also by Michael Eric Dyson. Oh no, sorry. It's forwarded by Michael Eric Dyson. It's Robin DiAngelo. Why was that such a struggle? These are 2 books that I got for my birthday, and I have no idea when I'm gonna read them, but I'm happy I got them. Boom. Okay, so in addition to that, I also am in the middle of 3 different books. So quickly, what my current reads are. Okay, so this is gonna be like all over the place, so just accept it because I'm just excited to be recording, okay? I'm feeling good. I got my lemon lime shirt, but the light's making it look yellow, so we won't get into that. So my current reads right now is Hocus Pocus and the all-new sequel. Now, okay, so I've read the first half, which is really just the movie, and honestly loved it. Brought back nostalgia. I literally cannot have Halloween without watching Halloween Town or Hocus Pocus. Like, that's just what it is. Most people think of Halloween and they go right into like scary movies like Freddy, Chucky. I'm not really gore, blood kind of person. I like the costumes and the imagination around Halloween. So this story means a ton to me. So it was really good to kind of refresh and understand what's happening in it. Now I'm at the second half where we are getting the new version of the book. I'm sorry, getting the new version of the story. And because I'm trying to keep an open mind, I'm not sure how to feel yet. But this is genuinely, just because it has the original movie in here, I think this is a good read. Just saying, putting it out there. Okay, so my next book that I'm currently reading is two leftover from last month. I tried to finish them before this month, but like I said, I am taking my time with my reading. I'm not rushing. I'm not trying to outdo nobody's numbers or none of that. I'm reading it on my own time in my own terms. That being said, I'm reading A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and this is the second book or the sequel to A Curse So Dark and Lonely. So I'm like the first half of the book. So far the story has been really interesting. I'm confused a little bit about one of the, I guess the heroes of the story is now playing a villain, and I don't know how to feel about that. But it's like, it's a villain with a purpose. Like, you understand his reasoning for being the villain, but I don't like him being a villain. Like, he's supposed to have been goody two shoes, and now y'all trying to change my heart. That being said, I do have the third book, so I'm really trying to get through this one and take my time, because I also have the third book to the series, which is A Vow So Bold and Deadly. So I really want to get into that one too. So taking my time, reading it through, and enjoying the story. Last book that I'm currently reading is actually something I just started. I know I put it on my TBR. Correction, I know I was putting it on my current reads last month, because I started the first chapter, and then for some reason I forgot it, all of it. So I ended up going back and rereading the first half of this book, but it is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Apparently there's a long series like we talked about in my last video. It's a long series, but so far it's pretty good. I want to watch the movies, but I don't want to do it until after I finish the books. I'd rather have high expectations with the books, watch the movie and tell it, it's okay, it's all right. But I care more about the books themselves, so I'm gonna read this thickie. This is really a thickie. I didn't think it was this thick, but it's only 600 pages in the whole book, so I'm trying to pace myself with this one. I don't know if I'm gonna tab it yet. This month, one of my goals is to tab a book that I'm reading. Probably going to be either a new read that I start this month, or probably go back and reread. I've been doing a lot of rereading the last few months, so we'll see. All right, and then last but not least, I wanted to go over the books that I finished, but I only wanted to go over the books that I gave 3 stars and above. So the first book is going to be Ties That Teeter or Tether, and I talked about this in my book of the month book haul, I want to say. I feel like I did, but I reread it, and I read it for book club the first time, so I reread it on my own terms, and I liked it even more. So just a quick review on this book. So it's basically about again, Canadian immigrant. She comes from African culture. She comes to Canada with her mom, her sister. She ends up moving in with her uncle, like her family moves in with her uncle. She's raised in Canada, and she basically has to kind of conform a little bit to fit in with the Canadian like world. And it's so interesting because you hear a lot about immigrants and migrating and things like that. So it was really great to just like get that perspective. But now she's an adult. She's still considered the goody two shoes of the family. She does everything she's told. And a huge portion of who she is and her culture is determined by who she marries. And her family is all about you marry your heritage, your culture, your people, you know? And she made a promise to her dying father that although she's gonna immigrate to this new place, she will marry a man of their culture. On her father's deathbed. That's the conversation you have. Oh my God, don't even get me started. But that's the conversation she had with her father. So her dating life is complicated because although there are definitely other opportunities out there, she's promised her father that she just can't. She just can't do it. So She goes through a night where things are not going right with a date with a guy from her culture and finds herself in a place to meet someone else. And she does one thing, which I hate this trope, but she does one thing that is not representing her goody two shoes. And that, of course, spirals. And that is all I'm going to tell you about the story. I personally gave this a 4.5. And it's mostly because I'm a hopeless romantic. I can't help it. It was great. Two things that I really loved about this story. One is the culture, educating about your culture, but also the conversation of you can still have your culture while migrating and while you have that's a piece of you. You can't really take it away. So it was really great to see that perspective, because you always hear about, oh, you're this, so you basically have to choose to be one or the other. Well, you can't choose something that you're born into, that's who you are. So I love that perspective of it. But also she gave so much to the romantic comedies. I mean, so much rom-com references in this, and I love rom-coms. Y'all don't even know. So it was really great to hear those. So ultimately I gave this one a good scoring because I really personally enjoyed it. Boom. Okay. So the next book is going to be The Boyfriend Project. I gave this one a 3.5. Not in a bad way. So let's be very clear. Not in a bad way. I just have problems with certain things in this book. So small details around this. Samira, I think it was Samira. Samaya. I don't remember. So the main character in the book basically finds out that she's dating a guy, and I promise this is definitely not really spoilerish because it happens right in the beginning of the book, but back to it. But so basically she finds out through social media, I believe it was Twitter, she finds out that her boyfriend is on a date with another girl. And the girl is tweeting how terrible this interaction is. She finds out that it is the guy she's dating, and she shows up only to find out that he's not only on a date with another girl, but there's also another woman there who is calling him out on his bull, and he's been dating also. That being said, the women all kind of catch him in his lies. Boom. Heavy hit on when it comes to the start of this book. I was like, oh snap, this juicy girl, tell me more. But the story goes into depth and highlights more of Samira's life and her experience. Two things that I loved about this book. One, this book does a really great job about Black women in a professional world, and how every decision we make and every choice that we make impacts the women behind us. And yes, that's a lot of pressure, but it's super realistic, and it was unapologetic throughout this whole book. And what really loved about it is that she highlighted things that most people hear about, they hint at, but they don't really go into details about. And I love that they highlighted this in the story. Last but not least, I love that in this story, they don't have the woman give up her dreams to be in love. I really hate the trope that you have to choose love over your career or love over being successful, and that's not the case. And in this book, I think they did a really good job of getting both and making both important to her and her growth. So yes, I freaking love that about this book. And then of course, last but not least, I was kind of in a reading slope for about I want to say about 3 days, 3 days, where I just didn't feel any of the books that I was reading. So I decided to pick up one of those young, adorable books. And that was, for me, unfortunately, The Milk. I personally am thinking about giving this to my nephew, JB. But it's the same writer as Coraline, and I love that animated movie. But this is called, unfortunately, The Milk. And basically what it's about is the dad goes out for milk and he takes forever to come back. And when he finally comes back, he tells his kids about this crazy experience where he traveled in time and he met everything from pirates to dinosaurs to aliens. And it's an adorable, cute story. It personally got me right out of my reading slump. So I was like, you know what? This is a good book. I enjoyed it. What can I read more? That tends to help when I'm struggling with reading, is just reading something a little bit smaller, a little bit slower, and next thing you know, I'm devouring books again. So Okay guys, so I do want to do something really quick. I know I've been talking a ton about my design, my redo as far as my office. Here's a sneak peek. If you're following me on Instagram, you've already gotten a picture. So I redid the leaves on my wall. I redid and got a sofa. I got an ottoman that I'm currently sitting on. I'm still working on the rest of the room, so that's why I haven't posted like a tour or anything like that. More to come. But yeah, I hope you guys like the little changes I've made. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Do the thing. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. All books with Bonnie. Links are below. My question for you guys, what are you currently reading this month? What is on your TBR? And if you don't like either of those questions, just give me a little love with a purple heart emoji. It's your girl, Books with Bonnie, and I am